projects. We are updating everyone and welcoming all of you who have been involved with all our different platforms and specifically our weekly Real Kindness podcast, as well as all the other important classes we do together. This is our first time we're going live in a while on Unity Inspires Projects Instagram, and we are live on our usual Unity Flow podcast platform on YouTube, the Eli Unity Goldsmith, as well as live on our Midnight Rabbi, and hopefully we're cross-posting a few places. It hasn't been working so well recently, the cross-posting, but either way we'll put it up there on all those different Facebook platforms, as well as our podcast as well. Thank you. It's amazing what we've accomplished. We've done 24 episodes together with Yosef Aaron. Big shout out to him, and we'll be resuming our Real Kindness podcast together the day after Tisha B'Av, hopefully this year. It'll be a Mashiach Day, it will be a Beis Hamikdash, it'll be resolution for the current crisis we are in. You know, right now my son, we dedicate our learning to BORUCH, YITZCHAK, MASHA, and to all the soldiers of Klal Yisrael. He is on a mission, a 3-week mission, and everyone should keep praying. Very important mission for the success of all our soldiers, everything they're doing, and our people. Remember, this is the 9 days, so we're not going to be doing any music so much, even though at some point I will have to bring back the guitar to this podcast. And we usually do a song. Maybe at the end we'll see if the vibe is Yibane Beis Hamikdash. We'll do something like that. We hope the Shabbos Chazan, Parshas Devarim, a new Sefer, Dorbo Ba'aretz, the generation that's coming to Eretz Yisrael. This is our generation looking for our home. As we've been talking about United Souls, check it out. The Substack extract from our book. Please go, we're in a second section already, and we're already on 45 parts. Baruch Hashem. So we're looking for a home, we're looking for a place, a journey for our soul to come to. This is a time to, as we mentioned in the Tanya weekly share, to increase our neshama, more soul, more focus on the soul. And with that comes a lot of generally physical challenges to that approach. We're going to discuss also updates to do with Unity bookings, Unity marketing, and thank God both are growing, maybe not as hoo-ha as we'd like, but they're growing. And we have to thank Hashem also to remind you all the beautiful causes here in Israel, the Just One Chesed, be kind, keep praying and doing what we can for the soldiers and the hostages, and keep praying for all of Klal Yisrael right now with the threat of Iran, Machshamam, and all our other enemies politically as well. As we mentioned in the previous class, we put a link up on the side, and also below we mentioned some of the threats that are going on politically, globally. We need to make sure we're fighting for the right cause and team, investing our time and money and energy towards the right people. It's not easy always to know, but when people are praising God and thanking Hashem for their success, and other people are trying to take away from the light of truth in the world, so it's pretty clear whose side in this situation we need to put our energy towards. Obviously, our goal as Unity Inspired Project is to focus on the unity, but right now the push for unity is unifying with those who are of soul focus, and people who decide not or oppose the soul-full approach of life. Like we mentioned many times, our biggest enemies, like Machshamam, Hitler, he was against the soul of humanity. It's anti-soulism, not just anti-Semitism that we're up against. It's anti-soulism. He was against the consciousness of humanity, the key, and we have to keep fighting for humanity's soul so that we can have values and live meaningful lives together happily with respect and tolerance, but in the right way, with the right focus. So on that note, with Shabbos Chazan, we're trying to visualize the future. The Beis Hamikdash, as the Tzaddikim say, it's the highest Shabbos of the whole year. It's an opportunity in the lowest time to go to the heights. And part of the reason we're doing this summary is not only we do an update every 6 months or so, as they call every 2 quarters in business, the idea we have to come together and just focus, what is this project's about? Unity that we're looking for, United Souls, inspire, speaking out, getting together with inspirational people like the bookings, all those amazing speakers and singers and creatives and comedians, and the growing space that we're in. And then we have the projects to be able to work together, collaborate, and be effective, for example, with the Zera Shimshon and Amun IP and all the other things we're doing. Baruch Hashem, everything should go from success to success. So let's start with the beginning. We already mentioned the idea of unity. This is our goal. There's all people who are role models of unity, who are not divisive, who always seek out a more unified approach. And we see that from speakers, and we'll now go into the booking aspect, like Rudy Rochman, who's always trying to seek a path of unity and, Nissim Black, as well as a performer, a musician. Just as I was thinking about doing this podcast today, being that the Real Kindness podcast is just on a hold for this week, I get a lot of requests for Nissim Black's time in the coming months for September, for Hanukkah, other times. So there's a constant push for these artists. Baruch Hashem, we had Shalom Lemmer just in this building, mentioned in the Real Kindness podcast and Unity Flow, the idea that Shalom Lemmer came here and gave what was necessary for the community, Baruch Hashem, and that was something which brought a lot of inspiration to Shirat David, to Frat, and once again, I'm reaching out again. I didn't fully pay the man, and I don't feel good about it, and I want to make sure that there's some outside support, or please organize me a booking, and I'll let go of the booking agent fee, and we'll get Shalom Lemmer fully paid for his appearance here in the Frat, because it was really inspirational. And after the 9 days, we'll finish off posting some of the clips that we got from his amazing performance. It was very sincere and real, even though it wasn't like, the official, with all the fancy equipment and sound and light, but it came from the heart. And this is partly what we're trying to do, is do very real events, raw events that are not showy, but are more connecting to people's soul. So Shalom Lemmer is available, and then we have Alex Clare, of course, and he's been doing a lot with Thank You Hashem, as well as Matziel's son, Lavi, been working, hopefully beginning to work with him at DJs. We've got a lot of DJs, DJ Hudacris, and Hava, and we have a whole crew of guys who are available, Mikey Mockton. The list is there below. You can check out all the artists. There's a growing list, Nuriel, beautiful singers, and we have such unbelievable people, and I'm trying to get that message out there. Today I got an email back from Zubi. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's been on podcasts and interviewed people like Elon Musk and pretty major stuff, and he is agreeing at some point in another few months we'll hopefully have a conversation, because the hope is that slowly we'll get these inspirational people out there in the more mainstream, and it is happening, each of them individually. But the key is to realize that we're a cloud, we're a nation, and ideally, if with the proper backing, we'd be able to do this on a group level. There's been some discussions with other bands, just waiting to hear back from them, and other projects that will really push things forward for me personally. And there is so much potential. We're sitting in the Beis Midrash in the Shirat David, get behind us, Tikka Medina, please God Elul. We're going to continue on with Rav Shlomo Katz, hearing Shirim from him. There's a little bit of a break right now. So personally, it's more challenging when you don't have the Rav around. But Baruch Hashem, we are keeping going, learning and growing in the concepts and living it, putting the Panemius Torah, the inner Torah, into everything we're dealing with in business, as well as I mentioned, Unity Marketing. We have Zera Shimshon, which is Zera Shimshon is a tremendous growing cause, expanding their Beis Midrash in Yerushalayim, and we'll be putting out some links about that, as well as the yearly event Elul. We're going to be speaking to the head, Charles Sakal, in the next week about developing further the website with more audios, more visuals, so you can listen to the show at zerashimshon.com and keep growing all the different socials. It's just getting the perspective of how to communicate and work together with different people and individuals is something which is always a challenge in our generation, when we're all very distracted and a lot going on, as well as dealing with the difficulty being a parent of a soldier who's doing some heavy missions right now at Khan Yunis. It's like not something to just, So once again, thank you to all those who've been supportive, as we had friends recently from England came from London, and that meant a lot to have people take us and show support in person to what my son's been doing. And this is really a whole nother level of connection when people come here and in person show support. So thank you very much for that, for those special souls who came to Eretz Yisrael during this war, and even with the threat of Iran, they've come and they've picked up my son together with myself in Tel Aviv and Herzliya, and it was amazing. And this is the kind of thing. Reminder that I will be in London November the 19th to 27th. That's a way for me personally to feature in London. There's all the amazing programs that I'm happy to come and feature there. For anyone who has connections in the UK, get in touch with me, and we'll try and make some more events. And once again, if we want to collaborate, we can always bring some of my other talent while I'm there and do something on a bigger level. There's so much needed unity events needed right now, just to pick up the level of consciousness, and like we did at the Shalom event with it was very important with all the other special speakers like Moshe Gersht, and he's going on tour. He's doing some big features in LA with people like Lewis Howes and Gary Vee. These are big names, and Huffington and all the big people out there. He's already going into that mainstream space. So he's an example of someone who I've worked with in the past and want to continue working with, that he's reaching the broader audience, which is where a lot of our brothers and sisters are, a lot of souls that we need to connect with. So when he posted, I wrote, "Fortunate are they to hear from Moshe Gersht," because he's a very special speaker, and he was here also at Shir David at that event. So we have wonderful people like this. The list is long. If I missed anyone, I apologize. But we have, thank God, Unity Booking. So we're combining with the marketing. Right now with Emunah IP, we're switching off a little bit from the socials and focusing more on LinkedIn marketing. And it seems like there's that push right now for me, which is giving me opportunity to work with clients in a different form. Personally, I wanted to expand our reach and influence, but there's also a lot of inner aspects of bringing clients to us, working in a more private level than the social media aspect. And I do think there is some shadow banning and things like that going on with a lot of the push of. We did a podcast with Eliyahu, and it reached 1,700 on Facebook, this, that, but it's not like big numbers. And I do feel, not as an excuse, but ability to reach people as there's larger forces preventing the truth from getting out there. So once again, everyone has their own sphere of influence, your own WhatsApp groups, your own WhatsApp chevra, friends who you think would gain from our content. Keep sharing it, and all the different people we're connected with. Go to unityinspireprojects.com, and you'll see there both the booking lists, the marketing opportunities, some different content there. And we're going to try, hopefully, always keep that updated. The blogs, always try update every month another extract from United Souls, alongside with all the latest online content. And that's keeping the flow coming, the unity flow, the inspiration. It's very important to keep generating inspiration. It gives a person motivation and positivity, and I do believe that the Shefa comes. As I said, we're looking for a new home. The Shefa will come, the place will come, everything is of Hashem's guidance, and allowing ourselves to let go, have acceptance. Part of the recovery world is about acceptance and the serenity prayer, realizing that we need the higher power to help us in everything we're doing, and to let go and allow what we're doing, the Unity Inspired projects, to have that unification, that Hashem Echad, that oneness, that truth that we're experiencing during these 9 days, that ultimately, no matter how dark and difficult life gets, before Mashiach comes, we are in a state where we're able to connect in an inner level to the Kruvim that are intimately uniting, the Yichud, the place of unification, and that gives us strength from that inner place to unify in all the other areas, to keep a unity focus with our work and our business and our family and our friends and our community, and to work with the Nakudas Tovas, the good points, developing that Nakudas we're talking about, and look into my own class from Rabbi Nachman Fegan. All the Tzaddikim, Bez Hashem, will help, the Eschus will help us to do these projects successfully. We need as much Sata D'Shmaya as we can get. And once again, I welcome anyone to send out feedback of ideas or something that's positive to Ellis. I don't need to just hear non-superficial comments like free this, free that, like the real communication where we can actually get things moving in a global way to make a difference. And once again, everyone out there has the power more than they realize to make an impact. And I hope we'll be back with our full star, maybe with a special guest or two, with Yosef Aaron next week. And till then, I'll just sing a song for this time of year. That hope of all the efforts we put in, for all the different special people we work with. We mentioned just a few, but like Avi Abelo or Rabbi Leo D. We want to help all these people get out there more and more. So many special speakers, so many comedians. Everyone needs more Kid Mike and Mokhtar. There's so many good people that we could just keep pushing out the energy, the fun, the joy of the soul. Everyone needs to be sameach and turn these 9 days into days of simcha, to the point where we're all to come together as souls to the Bonim Beis HaMikdash, the Binyan Beis HaMikdash. We'll be able to, please God, share ultimate simcha. My son will come home from this war safely, and all the other soldiers and friends of his, as well as the hostages, and we'll be able to visualize what it's like when we have a Beis Hamikdash and we're all there together singing ultimate unity, the soul level shining out to the world. Shemone Beis Hamikdash b'meira v'yameinu v'sein Hakohen b'soy v'secha. Shibonei Beis Hamikdash b'meira v'yameinu v'sein Hakohen b'soy v'secha. Shibonei Beis Hamikdash b'meira v'yameinu v'sein Hakohen b'soy v'secha. Shibonei Beis Hamikdash b'meira v'yameinu v'sein Hakohen b'soy v'secha. Shibonei Beis Hamikdash b'meira v'yameinu v'sein Hakohen b'soy v'secha. Yibonei Hamikdash, Yibonei Hamikdash, Yitzion, Sion Timalei. 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 Give out, give out, give out, give out, give out. Yibonei Hamikdash, Yibonei Hamikdash, Yitzion, Sion Timalei. Can't wait to share only simchas. Thank you for listening and sharing. I appreciate it. Only love. All the love.